Thanks for letting Everybody, welcome back. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is the wrap-up session. We went through an amazing campaign, an amazing journey with some amazing people, such as our very own Steve, who is DragonX on TikTok. He joined us in as a guest star, but he stayed the whole way through, even after his character was, well, we'll get to that later.
Wrongfully murdered.
Wrongfully.
Oh, awesome.
As
Hannah
story
was so
went.
mean.
I know.
That was so good. We'll get to that. That's
Bunny
gonna be
Blitz
something.
Battleground, we all missed this too. By the time
man.
the first week of August rolls around, we're all going to have forgotten how to play anyway, so.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We'll be back soon.
As the story went, 7 adventurers traveled through the continent of Evermore to each nation to collect their armies. Along that journey, several others spewed. We're going to go through each of our characters that went through this journey. And we're going to start it with our very own Onyx Deepborough, who is played by our amazing Brandon.
Hello.
So I got a couple of questions for you, obviously.
Okay.
So what inspired you to make Onyx? Like, where did Onyx come from?
Well, honestly, my favorite classes to play are martial classes, and my favorite race is the Genasi, because I like Avatar: Last Airbender, so the
Word.
4 elements really speaks to me.
Word.
See a monk
As
in
far
your
as-
future.
I was thinking about it. But character-wise, I have a couple other characters that are good boys, but they are good boys with traumatic past, so I want to make a non-traumatic past good boy and see how much stress he could endure before he just says, no, I ain't doing this no more.
About 40
too much.
episodes, it turns out.
Yeah. This time we'll go for 45.
Oh.
Oh, pump those numbers up.
Yeah.
Those are rookie numbers.
That's awesome.
Hey, thank you for the bits. I think I'm okay.
Oh, word.
There's no fate dice this time.
There's no
guys.
fate dice.
Sorry.
Just wrap up.
So, with playing Onyx, obviously having this awesome character, being such a holy person, do you think that the entire campaign you stuck through being that holy person, or do you think there was any parts of it where Onyx may have slipped up?
He definitely loosened his morals by letting Barroso Party do what they did.
You're
Raven
welcome.
Cars. Well, I feel like he stood by most of his like hard set things where like if it was just an innocent person, he wasn't gonna torture them for information or nothing. He just talked to them.
I only did that once.
That's
Twice.
still one more time than me.
Twice.
That's still 2 more times than it
Yeah,
should
yeah.
have been. So I think he held firm.
Yeah.
And I always like playing paladins because in the player's handbook they just are devoted. More often than not, it's devoted to a god, but I like breaking the norms. Trendsetter, you know?
I mean, making that oath to Maria was pretty good. And to be fair, if Raven didn't push you out, you would have broke that oath.
We would have seen.
We would have seen.
We got some.
We
I had
wouldn't
some
have, because
belts.
Raven, there's no way in hell Raven would have let that happen.
To those who don't know what we're talking about, there was an encounter with Saphira where Saphira grabbed Onyx and asked Onyx to come, and Raven snuck on in there, being invisible. She told Onyx to pick between some innocent girl or Maria to be the new horseman, or he could kill everyone that was in the cages, and in the cages were one NPC that each party member loved. Onyx couldn't choose, so Raven pushed him out and made the choice. I think that scene was actually pretty noble of a Raven cause. But for the third question I have for you, Onyx,
Hello.
who
Hello.
is your favorite character development besides yourself throughout this campaign?
I'd have to say Cars.
Yeah.
Our old Joe really knew how to play a tragic guy. Real sad guy.
Joe is a pro at brooding.
Very good brooder.
Yeah. Our Jason Statham.
Yeah. More hair, though.
More hair.
Jon Snow.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Much accurate.
Except
And
for Raven
then-
was the one that knew nothing.
The only other question I have for Onyx is, where would Onyx be in 10 years?
Oh, you know, after the big wedding with all the party invited, you know, big celebration, quiet reception kind of deal. He'd probably take over the orphanage, and instead of just like raising the kids and then sending them off, he'd train them in practical skills like swordsmanship, different types of craftsmanships. Because Onyx was, y'all didn't know this, I actually had proficiency in some tools. Not many, but
Never
some.
used
Enough. Never needed to. But
That
yeah,
was your retirement plan.
exactly. That's a retirement
it.
plan.
Got it.
I train a bunch of kids and stuff, so they are better set for the world, rather than just orphan who became a bartender or a field worker.
I mean, that's a pretty noble way to set Onyx off for the rest of his story. And as that story book ends, we move to someone that story kind of is split into two. Eldarian and Caspian. So
Yeah.
sadly, one of these characters didn't get to see the very end, but I still want to talk about him.
Yeah,
So how did-
Eldarian died.
Eldarian did die. So I kind of know how you built Eldarian, but there was still a big portion of it that was you. So where did you get the inspiration for him?
Well, I'm the opposite of Brandon over there. I don't like melee classes or strictly martial classes. I like spellcasters. And I knew when you were saying that he was the horseman of... Shit, which one was he?
Daggers.
Deception. What?
Daggers.
Daggers, yeah. But you described him as a person who was good at infiltrating and fucking shit up. And I felt like playing a sorcerer with all these abilities that were just like deception, confusion. That's why I took mind blank and all these other abilities that he basically just got people to fight themselves. And it was how I built him around that. Plus, I'm really good with sorcerers. I like sorcerers. They're underrated. Who wants to be a wizard when you can be a sorcerer?
I love sorcerers.
But yeah, so I built him to infiltrate the party with the mindset that he had to neutralize Raven. So he knew about the party. So Raven was the biggest threat in his eyes. So he needed spells that could like neutralize Raven. So that's why I built a lot of his abilities to like banish. I think he had maze, which is like there's no save. You're just in another place for 10 rounds.
Well, that's
So
terrifying.
he had all these. Yeah, he had all these abilities that were solely to beat Raven. And then the story went in a completely different direction.
And that does lead to my second question. Where in your journey, because it was about 10 sessions you had played, getting closer and closer to your goal, you had completely kiboshed Rubio's plan with the goblins. You continue to try to savage them by throwing the rest of the party, Onyx and Rubio, into a dragon fight, knowing that there's a possibility they could get wrecked. Where in the story do you think Eldarian switched?
Ooh.
I think it was actually when they got to the library, to the shifting library. I think that was when I kind of made the decision that he was shifting, because the way you explained it was the library was kind of in its own dimension, separate from time. And he asked the question like, can anybody else see us in here? No one can scry into here. I'm like, if there's ever a chance for him to break free from this, it's in this library, and that's really where it kind of deviated. Plus his friendship with Raven and his friendship with Kailu really, like, I think was kind of the catalyst there. That friendship, that kinship he had with Raven, that kinship with Kailu was enough in my eyes with the way the story was going to justify him getting enough cognitive ability to say, okay, I need to break this somehow.
No, I saw that as well several times throughout your playthrough, especially the hidden messages we'd send back and forth when you were asking questions relating to certain aspects. I loved Eldarian's arc, and this is where the saddest question comes. If situations did turn differently, and the outcome stayed the same, where the party was victorious, where would Eldarian have been?
That's a tough one. I imagine he would not know what to do. Like, I imagine it would be kind of like that, I miss the smell of napalm in the morning. I don't know what I'm gonna do after this. Like, the war's over. The fight's done. He's been alive for 400 or 500 years. He's an old man, and all he's ever done is fight. And it's like, what does he do now? I think he would be highly unable to adjust to the life of peace and would probably be trying to find other wars to go fight in.
Almost like stir crazy.
Yeah, I almost, because like everyone he knew outside of the party, everyone he knew and loved was dead. So there's nothing to go back to. Where everybody in the party had friends and family and all this, and Eldarian had nothing. Like, outside of the party and outside of the fight against Saphira, he didn't have anything. He was just, like, everything he knew was gone.
Used to be.
The tragic end of Eldarian. We got introduced to a very happy and sassy character, Caspian.
Yeah, Caspian.
Where did that inspiration come from?
Well, I wanted something that was a contrast to Eldarian. Eldarian was very serious, very focused. And I wanted Caspian to be more...
Pretty.
Flamboyant.
Yeah, he was pretty, he was flamboyant, and I wanted to, like, contrast that. I didn't want to play someone who felt like Eldarian. I wanted someone completely different. And playing Caspian, like, going through certain characters, there's a character in Bleach.
Favorite anime ever.
Bleach. The 5th seat for the 11th division. I forget his freaking name right now. I know it, but it's driving me nuts.
Peacock feathers.
5th seat. Yeah, Peacock Feathers.
Yeah.
He's very flamboyant. He doesn't take the 4th seat because it's not pretty. And I'm like, this is a character I want to play. So I modeled Caspian completely after that anime character. And that's why he was very flamboyant. Everything had to be pretty. Everything was about beauty.
Well, not to
And
mention
it
his Zanpakuto was phenomenal too.
It was. We're just talking about Bleach right now. I could talk for
We're
hours.
not an anime podcast, guys. Come on.
Yeah. But so that's really where the idea for Caspian came from. I wanted someone way more flamboyant and a stark contrast to Eldarian. That way people would know that this isn't just me reskinning Eldarian.
Okay. And, I mean, you didn't whatsoever. I feel like Caspian was a completely different person than Eldarian. You had so much more sass towards the party, where with Eldarian, it felt like at the very beginning you were on eggshells trying to make the party like you, but once you came out, I feel like that was purely who Eldarian was.
Well, I also think it helped that with Caspian, Logan and I had talked a lot before he even came in about how they knew each other and all that. So instantly he knew Kailu. Yeah. And when the party came, it's like, I've known Kailu longer than all of you. I'm going to just fit right in here. And there was no qualms or anything. He's the type of person, Caspian, who he's always the center of attention, and he's gonna steal the spotlight, even if it's not him. So that's kind of why he fit in so well.
I mean, fit in, you did, and you also did pull the most clutch move at the end with that wish, bringing everybody back. The way you worded it was fucking excellent, so I didn't really want to play with it at all. I wanted to allow you to have that wish because I thought out of anything, you could quite literally wish for anything.
Yeah.
And you did something very noble for a cause that you were very, very fracturally
So,
a part of.
want to know what I was saving the wish spell for? I went that whole fight without using my 9th level spell because Caspian was going to use that spell specifically if Cars died. Despite what Cars said about nobody bringing him back, he was going to wish that he had died instead of Cars. So no one would have any memory that Cars died. It would be Caspian had died, which is not circumventing Cars' wishes. But then when Cars didn't die, I'm like, okay, well, I got to do something cool with this spell I saved the whole fight.
I mean, that's sick. That's so.
Like,
I'm sad Joe's not here.
Yeah, his whole thought process was he didn't want Kailu to have to go on without Cars. So he was going to sacrifice himself to bring Cars back if that happened. And then it didn't. Like, the whole fight went in our direction. So, yeah.
That's
Wow.
so sweet. So cute.
That's such a noble thing to save a wish for, dude. And then as Caspian teleported away, what would, in 10 years, where would Caspian be?
I imagine he is kind of a drifter. I think he just goes from place to place, singing the songs about Murphy's Law. I think he's just trying to make the world a prettier place as well. So I think he's just drifting. Occasionally comes back to see everybody, but he's just fight's over. No, they don't need me at the World's Tree anymore. I'm just gonna go around the world and spread joy.
Admirable.
And with a noble and happy tale ending Caspian's story, we move to a more dark and sinister character, Rubio.
Hello.
Where did you get the inspiration for this just sinister monstrosity you made of a Gatling gun?
Well, all the D&D characters I made, like, in the past, my friends have always been, like, the heroes and the good people and people who are, like, kind of more on that side of things. But I've always been in love with the macabre, so Warlock sounded cool. Never played it. And then I saw Eldritch Blast in some people's campaigns and, like, some videos. And I'm like, I could make that so much better. Like, I feel like I could build a build where I could just make that one spell my niche. But, like, a lot of people say, like, oh, everyone uses Eldritch Blast. No, I used Eldritch Blast.
You did. You did.
You fucking did.
It was fucking awesome. One of my favorite, like, I think this is, like, my strongest character build, so I'm really proud of it. But yeah, the whole dark side of Rubio, it's almost like an alignment with myself where you had to, like, push through a lot of hard shit to get where you needed to go regardless of what sacrifice was made. So I always like to dip a little bit of myself into my character and, like, an emotional inspiration in a sense. But yeah, definitely one of my favorite, like, characters ever made. First evil character. He ended neutral evil as an alignment, which I thought was awesome. He started off the campaign as lawful evil, but he almost went full evil, so that was close.
No, he did. I think Rubio, his arc was super cool. Seeing him fluctuate from trying to be good to being evil to trying to overcome it to embracing it back and forth, and the party also kind of calling him out for a lot of things he was doing.
Yeah, it was interesting. The party was so against me raising the dead, so, like, it was very hard to use certain spells sometimes, but it always came in handy for, like, information, so I kept it chill. I didn't raise no graveyards or nothing. So I went away from the necromancer route. Didn't feel right to go to, like, the pure undead. Plus, it made it for a really awesome boss fight. That was one of my favorite parts. The Asmodan fight was so sick. One of my favorite, like, story arcs for a character I've played.
That was
He
stressful.
did a great job.
That was a fun fight. That was a very fun fight.
One of my favorites for sure.
And with Rubio having a super glorious character arc, who was your favorite character arc besides yourself?
It's a great question. Honestly, it's actually a combination of Raven and Nars. relationship and how that evolved and how it kind of ended at the casino in a sense. That like from that to there, I actually love their kind of dynamic like arc intertwining and seeing like how it changed both characters, especially like the traumatization that Vlad induced with the control spell at the casino, like making Raven kill Nar. Like that was one of the most intense like character relationships for me. So I think those two arcs, when they were kind of like their best friend arc, it's kind of like a hidden arc, really, like almost unwritten. That was honestly, I think, my favorite.
Yeah, there was one scene with that where Raven and Nar were sitting on the wall of the Republic City, and it was like right before this grand war, and Nar was all nervous, and Raven was calm, and Raven prep talked to him about war, and I think that moment was showing that kind of friendship start to build, and when he killed him and Raven was ready to leave, it showed how big of an impact that was on his character.
Yeah, I remember that casino moment. Like you hit all of our heartstrings. Like everyone was hurting. It was pretty like intense emotionally. So no, I think that was like probably my favorite character arc because it was kind of a dual.
Yeah, chat was crying too, so it's kind of a whole ordeal.
Yeah, it was.
Like everyone's was so cool, but I think that was my favorite.
Rubio.
Desmond.
In 10 years, where would he be? What would he be?
Since Rubio's contract was fulfilled correctly and he kind of loses the whole warlock aspect, he kind of realizes that if he leaves a lot of these strings uncut, where like a lot of these people down below could probably mess with things again, he would dedicate his life to more of like the whole blood hunter thing and go down and fix all the bullshit. And then once he finishes that, he'd come back, basically prep his son to be a peaceful and just kind king, stay with his family after this one last journey, and then just retire, pass the kingship on, and just go wherever Terry wants, essentially, and just find a very peaceful life and finally rest. Probably rebuild, honestly, the original property he had on Eden's Garden, his estate, before it was destroyed.
Nimethel, right?
Or Nimethel, yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd probably rebuild there at the very end and settle down with Terry and just live, become a grandpa, do nothing but good, and he would on the back burner as a blood hunter still make sure the area was safe. So if any, darkness pops up, he'd probably, be there to help. But I think that's what he would do. I don't know if he'd kill Asmodeus, but he definitely would have a fucking talking with him. Because if he did kill Asmodeus, which was on kind of the back burner of his mind, he would take over that position to make sure that the lower realms would not turn to chaos and cure evil. Because I think with Rubio, I tried to put forward there's a balance with darkness. Hence why I put so much time into the goblins, why I wanted to put time into the necromancers, but it didn't work. We just didn't line up properly with the story. But yeah, my character is gonna trying to show like the dark is necessary.
I like that. And I like the way you ended that story with Rubio. I think it's a peaceful end for him for going through so much fucking chaos.
I loved it. It's a good in my life.
With a dark beginning and a more peaceful end. We'll start with a very peaceful beginning with Kailu. If you, or Logan, if you are ready to chat.
Yeah, I should be good to chat now.
Alright, perfect. So, what gave you the inspiration to build Kailu?
Well, one of my good buddies has been a forever DM for as long as I've known him. And I've known him since, like, my sophomore year of high school. So it's been a very long time since he's been able to play. And he calls me his ghost player because we'll come up with a concept together and I'll get the opportunity to play these characters. And so we cooked up this aristocratic caster. I didn't have a class, I didn't have an idea really, but I had a personality and an idea that I wanted to go with. So I honestly chose to be a druid just because I had never played druid in 5th edition before and wanted to see how well that class functioned, how much fun I might have with it. The answer is a lot. Druids are very fun, and I highly recommend if you enjoy playing support, play a druid. So that's all that was. Like, I literally talked with my friend about a personality, came up with a druid, and when I came to you with a concept, it all just kind of worked itself out.
And with you building this awesome character, this light in a party of absolute, I don't want to say anything disrespectful, but people who don't abide by the law or would rather get it done their way or the highway. When you came into this group of bandits, kind of, what was your first impression of the party? Because I didn't really warn you too much about
That's a good question.
the.
No, I literally had zero context for the party at all.
Yeah.
Like, you and Alex, the player that brought me into this group, I got no context from anybody. All I knew about this game was the relationship between Raven and Nar being best friends for like since ever, and that was all I knew. So I came in here, and within the first 2 sessions, I was like, I have a bunch of murder hobos who encourage each other to do murder hobo stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
Yep.
And Onyx.
I didn't want to. And then Onyx on the sideline.
And Onyx. Trying his best.
I can take him out.
Murder hobos in a religious rock.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's shiny
no,
rock.
it's fine. We figured it out.
And with that, what was your favorite character development throughout the party? Watching them as you came in to see them as a bunch of murder hobos, and ending it with, as the rest of the world saw it, a bunch of heroes. What was your favorite development out of all the characters?
Well, I definitely have to be a little biased when I say that Cars' development was probably my favorite. But honestly, when it came to the entire party and watching all of the characters grow and interact and be better than what they previously thought they could be just because Kailu told them they could, that was so special.
No, I think
Because she taught Raven to count, man.
I'm
she
so
did.
proud of that. I think about that all the time. Like, one of my greatest achievements was helping him learn how to count to 5. That was good. I feel very good about that one. I don't often, because I normally play characters that are, personality-wise, are not clean-cut good people. So this was my first time playing a character who was genuinely good for the sake of being good and not selfish in some capacity.
I did it with Kailu's help, yes.
Did it with the amazing Kailu's help. And Kailu, with your amazing story that unfolded, you being the mom of this group, to watch them overcome obstacles, to watch them just be better and all their developments, taking Rubio through hell, helping Onyx become bad cop, helping
intense.
Raven count, and helping someone find love again in Cars. Where would Kailu be in 10 years?
Well, it's no mistake that Kailu and Cars grew their relationship after the end of that session. But the first thing that she would immediately do, locate that little flower that she had a vision about, and reunite both of those energies for the World Tree and that dragon itself. That was always her goal. When she saw that vision and realized things were not lost, that was the only thing she wanted to accomplish. So she would spend as long as it took making that a reality. And once that was accomplished, she'd definitely go help Cars rebuild his tribe, exactly as he had said he would. And, at some point later on down the line, get married to him, and at the very least have one child. They definitely, she at least would have a kid. Let's be real, this is Kailu. She can't not want to grow and nurture something very literally from herself.
So my question then is, would you ever let Uncle Raven be alone with that child?
We would pretend he could be alone with the child and then leave something around that could give us like a baby monitor, but hidden.
Permanent scry spell
Raven got
on,
hit with the nanny cam.
As
Damn
for
it.
its eye, yeah.
And as we end Kailu's story, also beautifully, throughout the campaign, the party had gone to a city called Zuskia. Yeah, you did. And in that city, sadly, we had a player have a kid. Alex had his first kid, and he had to take a hiatus. So we had an amazing guest star hop in to help us as they had to venture through an unknown city that was very keen on not allowing anyone to use magic. I'm just hoping he hops in right away.
You gonna ask Raven questions?
Yeah, you missed Raven.
When we get to Raven, we're gonna queue onto the videos.
Oh,
Yeah.
Sorry, Raven. Guest stars first.
You gotta win.
it's okay.
You gotta wait.
It's fine. It's whatever.
Yeah. We need to summon them out of the ether.
And there. We had our amazing DM Joester hop on.
Hi, buddy.
So as Joester came and joined us on this truly amazing venture, he created an awesome character named Miles. So my question to you, Mr. DM Joester, is how did you come up with the idea for Miles?
Oh, let me get my camera on here.
Brad's rearing to go.
Oh yeah.
3 monsters deep, ready for this wrap up.
Yeah.
All right. I honestly, it's been so long. I remember speaking with you a little bit about what was going on, and I kind of figured being part of the guard would have a good mix of like maybe potentially like stopping these guys. Like first off, like one of those like, hey, I'm in your way, and then I join your team type of dynamics. That was like kind of what I had in my head. It didn't really 100% work out with that because it tied into Carr's character being, we served together and stuff, and I had left the guard because of the direction they had gone. They had gone away from honor.
No,
After
100.
Talking to Brad. More of the story.
Moral of the story, pretty much. And Miles came in being a big help, helping take all the damage for the team on the first battle that they encountered with Catherine Maguire and her Charlatan Dragon. As you watched on the sideline, seeing you in the chat every other night and having you rejoin for several of the sessions, getting to know these players, who do you think was your favorite person and their development?
Oh, I mean, you gonna put me on the spot like that?
I have to, yeah. I did everybody else.
True.
And just, I don't know if everybody else knows, but I also run a game on Fridays. That's kind of why I was hit or miss as a guest. As I did as much as possible, but so I tried to catch up. I liked everyone's. I didn't like Nars as a player because he, I think, knocked me unconscious with a fireball.
Yeah.
But as a
happens.
viewer, I liked Nars and Raven's relationship.
Yeah.
Rubio's storyline was pretty cool. Like all of them had different things, like the whole, Caillou's stuff was fun to watch as well. And I can't pick a favorite, man. I don't know what to tell you.
No, that's completely fine. I like the answer you gave a lot, actually. And with that being said, the battle endured, your character being a part of the main front battle as you took on the archers and helped the party get into the castle after the victorious win. Where would Miles be in 10 years?
I think Miles would be as far away from a city at this point as possible. Like just kind of in a cabin in the woods. Like, okay, I keep trying to get out. They keep pulling me back in. I'm gonna go into that retirement fishing cabin.
Hell yeah.
Miles is just
Well,
done with people.
Miles is done.
Oh, sick of this, Grandpa.
He tried.
That's too damn bad.
Uh, And with that being said, Miles, and Joester, I'm really happy you got to join us. You were such a big help in the development of the Zuskia story. Such a fun player to have on board in this campaign as well. But I do like to say, oh no, it was a lot of fun. But I do, sadly, everybody, like to leave my favorites for last. Raven.
It's messed up. Pick your favorite.
Oh, the development of his character was actually tremendous compared to some others.
Damn right.
Cough, cough. Raven, how did you come up with your character?
I have been uncomfortably obsessed with the World's Strongest Man competition damn near my entire life. And I like martial classes. And barbarians are just, let's be honest, they're super fun to play. Especially if you get a lucky roll and get super low intelligence, which is super fun. But it's hard to play sometimes because I myself am not that dumb. Like, what you don't know, chat, is that I was texting the answers to Brad's riddles. Every one of them. But Raven was dumber than a box of rocks, so he could not contribute. But I always like the big, dumb, simple guy. They're just fun people to even be around.
It's a good trope.
It was. And tons of funny moments with that big, dumb Dragonborn. That did get smarter over time.
Thank you, Kylo.
You're welcome. That's what I'm here for.
Who is your favorite development?
Rubio. I liked watching Rubio go from I'm gonna Eldritch Blast the ever-loving fuck out of everything to caring father. That was a fun switch up to see happen.
And he never lost the Eldritch Blast out of everything.
Never.
He may have been a caring father, but he was very bad at consoling people. When Eldarion died and he had to tell Kylo about it, that was the worst.
That's funny.
Agreed. That was
horrible. Literally
funny.
listening to that entire situation, as a player, I was like, if this ever happens again, Kylo is going to very politely and very explicitly tell Rubio he's not allowed to comfort anyone.
Ever.
Rubio's not a feeling. He was never a father, like a feelings kind of guy. So he did
it was so bad. Just like, you can have your feelings and it's okay to cry, but like, not right now because we are kind of busy. Like, that's not the move, my guy. That's not the move.
I actually think my favorite Rubio moment was when he ran into Onyx and he was like, "Oh, we're being attacked. By the way, Kylo's my daughter. Gotta go by."
I think that was one of my favorite moments too, but because of Onyx's response, because he was like, "Okay, which one do I focus on first?"
Yeah.
As if imminent death isn't the main concern.
Yeah, Onyx just kind of woke up with the, "Hey, what? Wait, huh?"
What, when, where, why, how?
I had that down as one of my favorite moments too.
That's pretty good.
And are you asking the 10-year question too?
I was going to ask that question, but I do have one other question I do want to ask.
Okay.
Out of the campaign, a lot of players made some very crazy sacrifices. Rubio with his child, Onyx with Maria, several accounts, and himself, Eldarion with his life, and Kylo with a lot of the portions of the World Tree. But I think Raven had made a lot more sacrifices throughout this entire campaign. Out of all those sacrifices you made, which one do you think was the most severe for Raven's storyline?
I don't think it was a sacrifice that had the most impact on Raven. What had the most impact on Raven was not getting to Eldarion on time. That was the single hardest thing Raven had to deal with. Because it wasn't like what happened with Nar. Like, Raven didn't have control over his faculties when he ended Nar. Raven had full control over what Raven was doing when Eldarion fell. And he just couldn't get to him in time. So that was it wasn't even a sacrifice. It was the fact that he couldn't save somebody.
To be fair, we didn't know she had a knife that would just dissolve him to dust.
It
Yep.
wouldn't have.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have mattered if we. It wouldn't have mattered if the party was even able to revivify you. It would have still held point that Raven didn't make it,
Yeah.
and Raven will probably carry that with him forever.
And with that being said, where would Raven be in 10 years?
Raven would be opening a pub in Zuskia called the Axe and Dagger, and they would have a Aldarian's reading corner in the corner of the pub with like little books that you could publicly
Cute.
check out and read.
Oh,
A tavern library, cute.
And he would just be
Making
focused on that.
Oh my gosh, you opened a Barnes and Noble Starbucks in our world.
Yeah, kind of. Except for no coffee. They would have like that greasy
Yeah.
pub food.
Ooh, yummy! I
Solid.
love that stuff. Best food I've ever had.
oh.
And then he would hang his weapon over the mantle of the bar.
As a warning.
As a war.
That's where
think
Raven would be.
I think that's actually a really good place to end Raven's story. I liked Raven's story. I loved everyone's story. But the thing that stuck out with me the most with Raven is Raven always tried to have this hard, sterny background, this hard, sterny exterior that nothing could penetrate, no emotion, no dagger, nothing. And there were several moments in the campaign where he had that moment, and he always had cars or someone in the party that he trusted to at least express that emotion. So the next day he was back to Raven and back to hunting down tomfoolery. Like,
God dang, tomfoolery.
uh,
Tomfoolery.
I
Never
have
meet that guy.
I have
did.
so many. We
We
did.
did.
Meet tomfoolery.
Oh, I must have
Should
missed
be a
that
one
part.
shot hunting.
Oh no,
down
I
the
remember
first
now. I
list.
remember now.
That was
I-
so good.
I before we get to videos, I would like to ask questions. If
We
you-
could do that.
If you want to go
Um,
around, I have a serious question for Rubio.
Well, I did want to do it one fun way because, for the sake of me, I'm not going to be able to say this to you guys for a very long time. Everybody pull me out a D20.
My dice are up.
Oh man, I gotta.
No!
He's got this big ass bag.
Well,
you know what?
if-
I'm gonna pull up my D&D Beyond app and just roll in there.
I got
if you
one.
wouldn't
Kinda-
mind, Raven, I did
Yes.
buy dice for.
Brand new set.
Me too. I just bought brand new Nordic set for C2.
Don't talk about
I
it.
could roll you.
Don't talk about it. We're not there yet. We'll get to C2 here.
We're
in a
not there
minute.
yet. I'm gonna roll this room.
Oh wow, I love that
It was-
movie.
Brandon,
I was
please don't
thinking-
pat your sack on stream, please. It's unnecessary.
It's
It's got little
I
tiny
asked-
I think
guys.
it's necessary.
custom made.
Yeah,
But
It's
I always,
definitely
I always put my D20s in first, so I have to dump out the
I like
whole
the
bag
goblins.
to grab one.
Me with my dice collection and trying to sort them. I literally was like, "Oh, I'm gonna put all my green dice in my green bag," and then I was trying to do that and realized the green bag is not big enough for all of the green dice that I own.
Oh, hey,
only
Chad,
own
if there's any of
12
you still in there and you want to ask a question to a cast member, feel free.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, go
Well,
right
we'll get-
ahead.
We'll get to those after each and every
And
player gets to ask the questions.
triple dub, I think that is a dragon scale dice bag, yes.
Yes.
I don't
He
want to
says-
know what's made of. I'll take one.
Scale
Yeah,
mail.
they'll take 10.
Fit my whole hand. Or
All right, what's
sets
happening?
of dice.
Let's do this.
All right, Rubio or Dagon, what you get?
17.
Okay.
Are you
Brandon,
rolling
what you
initiative
got?
for questions?
Yeah, I am.
Oh yeah.
100% I am. You got 2?
I got 2.
Joester.
I got a 16.
And Eldarian. I mean, Steve. I mean, Caspian. I mean, Nodwick.
16.
I mean, 16. Can you roll again, Joester and Steve?
Which one of you can run faster?
Yeah, which one?
Who has higher?
In real life.
That's
Go run a
fine.
mile. Okay.
Not 20? Okay.
There you go.
Yeah, go run a mile real quick.
And I don't run,
Yeah,
that's why I
give us the
have
time.
Yeah, I
don't
was
run,
gonna
that's why I
say
have
I'll just give
boomsticks.
that to Steve. Running, no. I forfeit.
Do a quick push-up
Steve can
contest.
have it.
I can run for a strong 5 seconds before I'm out of breath.
We could have
Hey.
a carpooling contest.
I simply do not run. If it involves running, I'm gonna be the guy left behind, and
And-
I'll just die, and that's fine.
Logan, were
Right
you able
there.
to roll a dice?
I did roll a dice. I
Oh
got
my
a
goodness.
3.
Okay.
My
Well,
favorite number.
I rolled for
That's fine.
Austin, so let's start. Austin.
Rubio,
Me.
I want to know what was going through Rubio's head when Kylo's stepfather showed back up.
Oh my god, yeah. I didn't even expect that at all. Cause like when I found out she was my daughter and like Brad dropped all that tidbit, like that was cool. But then that didn't even process in my head that she still had a proverbial father out there somewhere. 'Cause she was like free soloing around the land. So when I met him, I was like, what do I say? I was like, thanks for taking care of my daughter for X amount of years. Good job. I'll take it from here. No.
Like a placeholder.
Yeah.
That's funny.
No, I felt like a distant, like busy parent, like meeting their teacher for the first time, just like
That's
shaking
funny.
hands, and be like, "Thank you for providing them a safe and good education." If I remember right, I think Rubio did thank him at one point.
Yeah.
Like just thank him for being a good father to her, because without his choice, it wasn't his. I didn't up and go get the milk. I got fucking dragged to hell. So
So you're
it's a
telling
little
me
bit
you
of a
forgot
different
the
version.
cigarettes.
Exactly. Yeah,
That was my question.
That was actually a very hard answer, 'cause I'm like, that was insane.
Because I remember
Curveballs
Raven going like,
for days.
"Oh."
Yeah, awkward, man. That's why I loved our DM, because like, yeah,
I'm gonna
there's
go.
so many
I'm gonna go
character
talk over
development
here for a
curveballs.
second. Bye.
This is my
Everyone
dad
leaves
and my
the room.
dad.
My dad's.
My dad's and my mom's.
Man, I couldn't imagine being Kylo in that mix. Like all
Kylo
the
has
different
3
like,
parents.
Oh,
I
don't
still
worry, I've
have
got a good
0.
question.
all of
for
which
Kylo,
are
too.
royal.
Shut
Alright.
up, bro.
We'll go around a few times so everyone can ask all the questions, but it's cool that you asked Dagon, because Dagon, what's your question?
Yeah, I actually was kind of curious about something with Raven, ironically.
that works.
Yeah, right? Because your character showed a lot of emotion, even as a player, too, when anything with, like, your NPC father came up. Do you think that, like, relates to a personal level?
Yes.
Hmm.
It's
That's
100%.
cool, man.
Me and my father hate each other.
Well, I appreciate you sharing those emotions with us.
Yeah,
Because,
we-
like, that was a big thing I loved about you as a player, and a couple of us, honestly, is, like, we let ourselves be ourselves in this campaign.
Yeah, because I know that he's not watching this. I don't think me and my father have spoken in 15 years.
Yeah, me too.
That's okay.
I
I'm your
resonated
dad
with
now.
you and as your character and how you reacted to the situations. I resonated a lot with that. And
Yeah.
for you to be so openly raw as a player and a character, that was awesome. So hats off to you. That's like what D&D's all about. So
Mhm.
like when I saw that type of thing with your character, that was cool.
Thank you. Next.
That was my question.
And we go to Steve.
Hi.
No more questions.
You can ask a question. You can ask a question to anybody.
Yeah, shit. I guess Rubio.
Hello.
What was going through Rubio's head when I
Oh,
summoned
no.
2 T-Rex?
I'm
I'm
gonna pull up a note that I haven't read to another human being. I planned everyone's demise. I was gonna go full evil, honestly, after that. Let me tell you what. Here, let me pull it up. It's like pretty good. It's not too far down either. Let's see. Yeah, because when you did that, like it kind of like conflicted a lot of what I had set up. So like it definitely pissed like Rubio off, and even as a player, I'm like, dude, what the fuck? I didn't want to be.
To be fair, that was completely unplanned.
Oh yeah.
I did not anticipate that going like that. And then Brad's like, yeah, the thing collapses and the lava fills and all the goblins die. And I'm like,
Well, you had 2 T-Rexes on a metal platform held together by chain link. How did
Yeah, I
you think
didn't-
that was
yeah.
going to go?
I don't
Oh
know.
man. I was upset. Fuck,
mean,
I'm trying to
it was-
find it. I
You're
literally
not
have a
an
whole
engineer.
description on how I'm gonna
I'm
just
a
like
sorcerer,
destroy
not an
everything.
engineer.
I mean, as
I
soon
don't know
as
where it went,
soon
but
as Steve
it
was
was
like,
good.
"I had 2 T-Rexes," I was like, "Yeah, I've never seen a chain that would hold up that much weight." And when Brad was like, "Oh, the chain breaks," and I was like, that's what I thought was gonna happen. You fucking idiots.
Yeah, I cringed and I was like, Brad, please don't. And then he did, and I was like, okay, I don't blame you, but god damn it. I'm gonna keep looking to let the party like keep asking their questions. So when I find it, I will read it out to you because
Yeah,
if you want to know what Rubio thought, I'll let you.
His
But yeah,
Batman backup plan.
I will say that was just me being completely dumb as a player and not like getting the grasp of what the scenario was. And then when Brad's like it collapsed, I'm like, oh shit. And then Brad afterwards messaged me and he's like, that was brilliant. You destroyed that whole plan. Saphira would be proud. And I'm like, yeah. I had that all planned
it.
out.
Yep.
I think that was the most annoyed as a player I was because I was like, oh yeah, I got the gob, and then oh man, that threw me.
Sheer
If we
destruction.
watch the video back, you watch my face. It was fucked.
That was a great moment.
Who's
And-
next?
Who's next is Awesome Joester.
Hey, shoot. I don't know. I guess Steve, I didn't get to play with you. Unfortunately, that kind of bummed me out. I thought it would have been fun to have there with either one of your characters. I was curious, like, because I was in the background a little bit. What do you think your characters, the 2 characters you played, with their relationship with Miles would have been? I know him and Cars got along fairly well, being battle buddies.
I think Caspian just got along with everybody. Like, I don't think Caspian knows a stranger. So I'm sure if you were with the group, Caspian would have just been like, oh, awesome. Hey, how you doing? Like his normal flirty, happy self with Miles. Eldarian, on the other hand, would have probably been kind of, I don't want to say the word cold, but he wouldn't have been like actively trying to be your friend because you would have just been a hiccup in the plan. Like, before getting to the library, the whole point was to destroy the party from within, and having someone there that he didn't account for would have thrown everything off, and it probably would have irritated him. So I don't think Miles and Eldarian would have been friends. But Caspian and Miles, they would have been buddies. Even if Miles didn't want to be buddies, they would be buddies.
Right on.
Brad,
Yeah,
there's a question for you after this. Chat has a question for you.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think I'm okay, says DM. How did you make this campaign? Where did you come up with this masterpiece?
Thank you for the bits.
Thank you for the bits.
Thanks for the bits and thanks for that question. I'm gonna be honest.
Well, hopefully.
When I came up with this campaign, I was very new to D&D and I was very new to being a DM, and I didn't really know too much of what I was doing when I made it. And as I learned over time, a big portion of this campaign, the reason there's some satire stuff like the Fountain of Youth and like Merlin and like King Arthur is because I had to go off of kind of stuff that I knew, so I could be familiar with the world. And a heavy portion of where I came up with this campaign was just an idea of having a D&D game that just didn't start in a tavern, that started with you guys having a fate kind of chosen out for you, and as you played a story and as you developed through this world, the players would learn that this fate was chosen and crafted for them by the person they thought they could trust. That kind of fell through with Merlin. And at the end, they learned that Merlin's whole plan was for them to defeat Saphira. So that darkness that grew within her, she could steal, that she could take, or he could take, and the party would stop him. But yeah, that's kind of where I came up with this campaign, and that's what the idea mainly was when I had it written. And along the way, just having, the players help me. Big portion of the players helped me. And built this awesome fucking story. But
Cool.
enough of me. I already got all my questions. I want to hear from the players. Logan, with your camera being turned on, who do you want to talk to?
With the amazing
What question do you want to ask?
shirt.
I'm so glad that their camera is on because my next question for her, I wanted to see their face. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. Well, I have a question for Miles, actually. Because technically Joester, but it's about Miles. Because, like, I only got to, I think I was in exactly one session with Miles as Kailu. And, like, technically they met a couple more times, but you weren't actually there to play the character. And I am curious if you would want to take that character, that concept, and flesh him out, bring him into a different game, and see what kind of character he is. Like, would you be willing to pursue that kind of thing?
Oh, for sure. I like Miles a lot. I think it'd be fun to do like a Miles prequel, like how Miles got where he was before all this went down. You know, his life in the military and all that beforehand. But even after, I think, you know, maybe the whole theme of Miles just getting sucked back in, like he's in his cabin in the woods, you know, and enjoying life, and you know, someone comes knocking at the door, hey, we need you. He'll be like, damn it, I'm retired.
Like Rambo all over again.
Right, exactly, Rambo. Yeah, it would be fun. I would definitely play Miles more. I might want to respec him a little bit. But other than that, I like the character. But yeah, it was a lot of fun, and I would do it more.
Miles was a little sassy for my taste.
Bunny
And with your-
Blitz, Bunny Blitz Battleground. My favorite NPC was Queen Terry because I liked a bad bitch to take no shit
Oh, yeah.
from anybody.
Oh yeah.
My abusive wife.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Abusive wife.
That is
Brad?
my answer,
Yes.
Bunny Blitz.
She
It is
wore the
your
green
go, Brandon.
relationship.
I second that. Is my turn?
Yeah.
Oh, I've got Brad.
Yeah. Wait, what?
Did it upset you at all when Raven ruined the whole Saphira making me choose stuff?
No.
Were you like, oh fuck?
No, because I would have killed everyone.
Yeah, we know.
Saphira
Yeah,
straight up would have killed Maria, the girl, Onyx. Anyone in that room besides her would have died.
She could try. I'm
She
kind
would
of
have.
built different.
And if you would have survived, she would
I'm
have
different.
pushed you and
I'm
sent you
built
back.
different.
But I don't think that upset me. At that, I was very, very happy with. I was more nervous that the entire party would go and there'd be this elaborate plan that was made. But I'm pretty happy with how it turned out, and I think that it was a very noble thing for Raven to do, so no. I was upset when Eldarian fucking took all those goddamn purple worms. That shit pissed me off, but, you know, we don't talk about that.
Listen,
It's a
that
good
was
plan.
just big brain plays right there. That's all that
Yeah.
was.
Teamwork
And-
makes the dream work.
Agreed.
Bunny Blitz Battleground. Dagon, who is your favorite NPC?
I already read that. I had one ready to go. It was actually Cobblestone, because anytime someone is
Fuck that
able
guy.
to create a character that can piss off an entire group consistently, you pissed us off so much with Cobblestone that when we saw him in the BBG castle during the fight, fuck that guy. We shut the door. Like, I know for a fact you had stuff ready for it, and we were like,
yeah.
we hate this guy. See you later, buddy.
It was
Like,
awesome.
that was probably my favorite NPC. Or my original first Nemesis episode, I think 5 or 6, Jeffrey, who, when I killed him, took his ring, and that was the same ring I used to give to Terry for my,
Oh my
kingly wedding. So that was my second. I had to throw Jeffrey in there. I'll never forget him.
Nope.
Who's
Can't forget
next,
Jeffrey.
Brad?
And who's next
Was
would
Jeffrey
be
spelled with a
actually
G?
With a J.
it's
E-F-F-E.
with Jay.
Do we go back
Jeffrey.
Yeah, we go back up, Austin.
up? Perfect. Logan. What did Kailu think when she found out she was royalty through marriage?
Oh, she wanted to throw up immediately. That was not a question. She, like, it did not So like it was like a concept originally. Okay, so like she was like, oh yeah, okay, so technically my bio dad is technically a king. That's a thing that is a thing. But it didn't click with her until we were actually there that she was like technically by marriage royalty. And when that occurred, she wanted to throw up. She was done. She's like, no, that's not for me. I very
Royal
specifically
anxiety.
she very specifically like modeled her education and what she did at the World Tree to circumvent any and all genuine responsibility for other people in that capacity.
Dang, that answers one of my questions actually.
Oh,
Scratch
what was your
that one up.
question?
Nice.
If you were the eldest out of Rubio's kids, would you have become the queen?
Oh, the answer to that would have been absolutely not.
Yep,
You
answered it.
son of a bitch.
Bunny Blitz Battleground. I feel like Brandon's legally obligated to say Maria was his favorite NPC, but
Besides Maria,
Oh, yeah.
Queen, oh, I loved King Terry. I was right there. I love a boss bitch.
yeah,
What
Queen
about,
Terry's son.
She was a bad bitch, yeah.
What's his
Yeah,
name?
I also
What
hated
about
George the Ginger.
What about Van
Fuck
Helsing?
that Van Helsing was a pushover after his wife died. Can you believe that guy?
All right, let's go. Let's just go around real quick before we continue. Logan, did you have a favorite NPC?
Ferrer, absolutely.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
The way that he, like, I understand that the way that he went about doing what he did was so rooted in this genuine want to care for things that were thrown to the wayside or just killed immediately. And I, as somebody who will see like a little crushed up packet in the grocery store and will buy that one specifically so it's not lonely, like that's absolutely something that I identified with. So I really liked him as a character. He was probably my favorite.
Steve.
Fair
enough.
I don't. I'm gonna say with everybody else, kind of Queen Terry. I guess I don't know. I don't
Nice.
remember half the NPCs. I didn't meet
My
them.
wife.
So she was the cast's favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, now
She was like so mean to Rubio. It was awesome.
I
It's
loved
such
it.
a stressful
I loved it.
relationship.
But it wasn't for no reason. Like she lost a leg,
Absolutely.
her kid, her
Rubio
John was
absolutely
old,
deserved
was
to
so
go
old.
on his
100%.
feet on a
Oh,
semi-regular
yeah.
basis.
The fact
Yeah.
she stayed with him is kind of impressive.
kind of
Badass.
So much patience from that woman. She's like,
'Cause
you
I-
know what? You pissed me off again, so you're sleeping on the couch, but we haven't gotten a divorce.
Or with Raven.
Hey, leave him out of this.
It's because I called her my summer flower.
Awesome.
I'm sure that's what it
every
was.
time.
We go to Dagan.
Yeah,
Dagan,
same.
what's your question?
That's also a quick question on this note. I think mine would be for Kailu. Kind of just surrounding like what was going through Kailu's mind when we kind of like clicked and like put the puzzle pieces together that we were who we were, like father and daughter.
Oh man, that was probably the first big thing that happened in her position, because that was a goal that I had as a player for her. One of her goals as a character, and part of the reason why she felt like it was okay for her to leave the World Tree is because she needed answers for what happened, even if it turned out that people were dead still. She needed answers. So when that shit clicked, she lost her mind. Like, she blanked for a second. Because there was no way that it would be that easy.
Right? Yeah, I think Rubio felt the same, where he's just like, "What? How?"
After all the bullshit, it's just like, hey, guess what? We've
Right
been
here.
besties for a second.
I love that turn of events. Like I think I've seen that maybe once in like a show, and yeah, I'd love that. Like we're related. It's like it was a cool throw in via the DM and yourself.
Yeah, it was
love
good.
that.
And
Real quick, sorry, I found the little thing I wrote. for
okay,
Rubio.
Okay.
I'm very
Um,
curious what it is.
So it goes, the goblins no longer trust us. Rubio will never ever do any plans with the party ever again. Solo Rubio from now on. The party is between a yellow dragon and a red dragon. Rubio was teleported there against his will and is now in the middle of danger. And according to the DM, the contract is now violated, and Rubio believes otherwise, but at the moment he believes that he's lost everything. The goblins side with Saphira, and they will be coming for the Republic. The contract is broken. broken. Rubio just lost his son, his queen, and his kingdom. He will turn into a young red shadow dragon, leave, find the necromancers, continue his work, and start his own dynasty. Rubio is now solo. His dynasty starts now. That was the reaction I
Jesus
had for you
Christ.
obliterating goblins.
That's
In
so
game,
dramatic.
my character in
Eldarian.
that moment genuinely believed he lost everything I had
Everything.
developed over like almost 2 years of playing. So I was like, yo, I'm gonna kill this dude. I'm gonna open a big ass army, and I will end Saphira and them. I was ready to go and
I
become
feel
the
like that's very
BBG.
on point for Rubio.
Yeah.
I agree.
That's actually how he changed his alignment. You changed him to neutral evil. It was that moment. So yeah, but I thought
And Steve, with that, you hearing that, which do you have any other questions for anyone else?
Yeah, I got a couple questions, but I'm just reeling from that. Like, man, I had that big of an impact on a character. I feel terrible.
yeah, you like broke him.
Broke.
It was
level of
awesome.
hatred.
I
was
mean,
freaking out.
to be fair, if Rubio had left the party to do that, that would have been like 100% Eldarian's like goal was to break up the party.
Yeah,
So
you
it
almost did.
worked In
almost did.
theory. Kailu, question for Kailu. Why did Kailu take to Eldarian so quickly?
She saw in him an immediate kinship in the fact that he was an academic. He was very well spoken. He talked about books a whole lot, and she felt like they could hold really good, solid conversation about a lot of topics. And that's something that she always respected out of people. Just knowledge in general is power, and it's important to know what you're going up against. And he always made himself out to be somebody who wanted to educate himself for the best possible results. And so she was just like, this is a cool dude who likes talking about stuff I like talking about and gives me a perspective that I wasn't prepared for beforehand.
Okay.
Good answer.
No, that's a really good answer. Joester.
So Brad,
Yeah?
because I didn't watch the whole. I want to know. Does Miles have the record for going unconscious the most?
Yes.
Probably at least
I think
in
so.
one
Yes.
fight. I think I went unconscious 3 times in one fight.
No, yeah,
There's more than that.
and then you came back. You fell unconscious more than 3, because then you came back, and then you had the encounter with Saphira in the dream, and you went unconscious again in there.
Yeah,
I think it was like 4 or 5 times. So yeah, you have the record.
Yeah, for sure.
that
yeah.
tracks.
Good for you. Congratulations.
That tracks.
Know who doesn't? Eldarian.
No, yeah,
Listen,
no. He
the
went down
difference
once
between-
and once only.
Woman
The
does
difference
this.
between Eldarian and Miles is that Eldarian committed.
Too
The
soon.
bit. The bit.
Now I have a question for Hannah, but she's not here.
Why are you so mean?
Why'd you do it?
Why'd you do?
What
Why
is
was
it?
me?
No, my
my
question,
question is,
for
what the
Hannah,
fuck?
if you ever see this, is did you get satisfaction out of killing Eldarian?
She answered
You
that
know
at the end of the
100%.
stream. She
No.
said she loved it.
It was a
Yeah.
blast.
Alright,
Logan.
I was gonna say, okay.
Who's next? Sorry.
Do you have any questions for anyone else?
Oh God, do I?
That's a good question. Do you?
Brandon,
Hello.
did you want Onyx to have any more depth than what you gave him? And I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I'm not trying to make that
Wow,
sound
saying I'm
terrible. I know
shallow.
Pretty.
I know, absolutely.
Dull as a rock.
I don't
That was perfect.
in all the years that I've been a player, I don't often come across a PC that's not one-dimensional, but is very like, this is what I'm doing here, this is what I'm saying, and this is who I am, and I am not deviating from that because I don't see the point. I have never seen somebody just be like, no, I'm comfortable right here, and it was so fun. Did you have intentions to make him any more like multifaceted, I guess?
Clearly, you missed
Not-
Bad Cop Onyx.
Yeah.
That was my
Right.
favorite.
Jesus.
That was
That
amazing.
was such a good
I was
moment.
gonna bring Bad Cop Onyx in way earlier, but I was also like, we're all, everybody's all gung ho, especially Raven and Cars, torturing to like their immediate. Oh, we need info.
And when they had
torture.
Murphy, it was worse.
So I was
It
like,
was
you
so
know
much
what?
worse.
I will just be a chill person, and Brandon in real life is very passive. Like, oh, hey, do you want a chair? You want to sit down? No, I'm good. I'm staying. You know, I don't. I just stay in my lane, as the kids say. So I guess Onyx took a lot of that, my personality of just go with the flow. Whatever happens, happens.
Oh, shit,
You know, I
gotta take a
can't.
drink.
I can't change fate, but I can react accordingly, I guess. Just
Fair.
react like a. Yep. I'm just
And
a chill white guy.
Brandon,
That's it.
do you got any other questions?
I got a question for Raven.
Yep.
Did Raven ever cut back on the torturing aspect when he was around the party?
Yes.
Did you purpose? Okay.
Yep.
Easy.
Raven did not think after talking to Onyx and specifically Kailu that they had the stomach for what really needed to be happen. So Raven definitely chilled a little bit from his military days.
You know what's funny about that is I actually got information and I didn't torture someone. I broke a chair and yelled at them a lot.
You also gave them a truth serum.
Did we?
Yep.
Yeah.
I thought I
Nope.
thought I was a good actor.
Nope.
I don't remember that.
Well,
Give
both.
truth
Both.
serum.
Let's be
Listen.
fair.
Both. You were doing great.
Bad,
you
bad
were
Cop
scary.
Onyx was terrifying.
You got results. That's what matters.
Exactly. No torture needed. Just drugging.
And with that being said, there was a couple of questions in the chat from Bunny Blitz Battleground. My favorite NPC that I built was Roken. There was a cool story behind him, and this is the first lesson I learned as a DM that not every story will ever get dove on, and some stories you gotta scratch and throw away. Because I built this huge arc for Roken, and he was used for other manners. So I'm happy with how Roken ended still. Got to be in the big battle, got to do pretty cool boss things, but that was my favorite. And that's actually a cool question for the party as well. Who was all your guys' favorite boss?
Demon King.
Asmodan. That was probably my favorite.
I didn't do anything in that fight. I showed up and was like, all right, well, everything's out of my range, so guess I'll run around a little bit.
Sabira.
That was a good
Yeah.
fight.
Sabira? Yeah.
Not
was
Saphira.
intense.
No,
Sabira.
Sabira.
That was a good fight. Sabir was a great fight.
Yeah, Raven will never trust anybody again.
Never.
No.
Yeah.
That was
I
so
want to know
crushing.
what would have happened
So
before
terrible.
Rubio shut off the speak with Dead. Like she was about to say, "Tell Raven," and then it cut out. I wish we would have got that.
It was so
Well, before that,
perfect.
she called Raven ugly and stupid. Raven was
Oh,
like,
it was. It
It
was.
was
sad.
literally like
The best
a
part about
punch.
that entire fight was Kailu and with Logan in the group chat.
Oh, I was losing my shit. Okay, like listen, if you are a D&D player and you don't have a group chat specifically for the party that the DM doesn't have access to, do it now.
Yeah.
This is a
It's good.
threat. Do it. You need it. It's important.
Yeah, Logan was just,
so
what
yeah,
the
I was
fuck is
losing-
going on?
I was losing my mind. Absolutely losing my mind.
I think we were like, Eldaria just died, and Logan was like, what do
I
you
didn't
mean,
believe
died? It was like
I didn't
dead.
believe
She didn't believe it.
I was like, you're
Like,
fucking with
dead,
me. This
dead.
is a joke. I'm not here, so you're fucking with me on purpose. And they were like, no, he's really dead. He's not coming back. We can't bring it back. I was like,
Yeah, he does.
good.
Yeah, he's gone.
He got Thanos.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, he did.
it was
And
bad.
because this isn't going to be a full-length stream, but there's thousands upon thousands and thousands of questions we can all ask each other. But we also got some clips
Oh, yeah,
from
I got those.
our stream that we're going to show you guys, and we're going to talk about those clips as well. So
All right,
whenever
everybody
Austin's ready,
hit
we'll go for the first one.
Share screen, and I will hit play.
Just
Let
black.
me know when everybody's ready.
Oh, we're
It's
sharing
black.
our screen.
All right, hold on.
It is black.
On the
Hold on.
stream, it's fine.
No, he's sharing his screen, Brandon.
Oh, he said everybody share their screens, and I got confused.
No, there we go.
How's
There
that?
it
That's
is.
better? Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hopefully it will. Yeah, it should play.
Oh, I was still in the new Tazwell plays. Look at that. A little blue wall. Yeah.
All right, here we go.
And that's it. Just try to tap into the power of the dragons and manifest more power.
Hey, Jim Jam,
Yeah.
can you come here for a second?
Very suspiciously. Sure. Kind of keeping his guard up a little bit.
All right, so gotta tap into the power of the dragons. And he's gonna start tapping on Jim Jam.
Oh, yeah. No, you got it. There you go.
Okay.
Didn't know what I was expecting, but this does change things. I'm gonna use one of my cantrips to like make. I have light, so I'll be like, I'm gonna like put light on myself like I'm glowing.
Oh, wait, no, hold up. I didn't mean to do
You're
that.
doing it.
I'm sorry.
You're doing it.
Yeah, but hold
You're
on.
doing it.
I put it on you now. Now you're all extra shiny. I didn't mean to do that. I'm so powerful.
Turn it off, and then I'm gonna like just like as I turn it off, just kind of like brush against some of his equipment, and that's gonna start glowing with the brightness of light. There's more.
Part dragonborn, part lightning bug. I am a wizard. Hey, Rubio, look!
Are we still in the same room?
He's gonna do the kid thing where he's like wide gate, so it's like running like this.
Hey, look what I can do. Wait, you gotta look what I can do.
Eldarian's gonna look at Jim Jam and be like, you realize he actually did manifest some lights before you came over. Like, he has magical power. He just needs to harness it.
Everybody's got a little bit of magic in them. I mean,
Rubio, I'm so shiny right now, it's fucking crazy!
well, look how happy he is right now. I think that's worth everything. That's worth the cantrip and a half right there.
Like across the library.
Oh, burn the fucking place down.
Oh, shit.
There might be, I think.
Oh man, when Raven was learning magic, that was fucking awesome.
I remember
The
you
reason
specifically turning him down when he asked me for.
the reason
Like, no.
the reason I like that clip so much is because the difference in reaction. Like Eldarian's like, look at him, he's so good, and Rubio immediately was like, don't fuck it up.
Don't burn the place down. That's why I didn't teach him. I was like, he's gonna kill someone.
I don't know. I feel like Eldarian really actually deep down cared about Raven. And when he was teaching him magic, it was kind of like cemented their friendship. Like, it was something that Raven wanted to learn, and Eldarian was able to teach him. And it kind of like, it just made them so much closer. And it was almost like a proud father at that point, where Eldarian, holy
Look
shit,
at my boy.
I can teach people magic.
That is another one of my favorite moments, is when Raven does the minor image and Eldarian's like, holy shit!
I like in D&D campaigns, instead of just, oh yeah, I multi-classed on this level up, so, like a reason that they got that multi-class, you know? So a barbarian learning some magic is because he was taught, versus just, oh yeah, I multi-classed. Nothing about
No,
it.
I'm a huge fan if you're gonna multi-class, because like,
It's gotta
fun
make
fact
sense.
about me
Mhm.
as a player, this Kailu is the first character that I've ever straight classed. I always multi-class, so this was an experience. And if you're going to multi-class, you should absolutely have you should work with your DM to figure out an organic, like, RP way to go about making that happen. It's so much fun.
Yeah, me and Brad run the talks for a couple weeks before
Oh yeah.
Raven made that commitment.
Man.
I
Myself
still
as
think it's
well.
funnier that it was harder to teach Raven how to count.
No, I think the 3 levels he took was just fucking awesome. So when Raven was first becoming a rogue, it was because he was mimicking after Cars, trying to become more like Cars, like a brother. And then when he took magic, it was because he was becoming more like the rest of the party who could do magic. It was so cool to see you take a rogue and change it into that kind of a story arc. I agree with Logan. If you're doing multi-class, it has to make sense. Work with the DMs, make it cool, make it fun. But on to the next clip.
Yeah, this is gonna be here it comes.
That's going to be a fucking needle in the heart.
My heart.
Logan, you should definitely watch this one.
Yep.
All right, everybody on the shared screen.
Yep.
All right, here we go.
As her body kind of crumbles to the ground, you see Subira standing behind her. And she kind of looks around and cocks her head and goes, well, that was fun. But I'm bored now. Jimmy, we have a score to settle.
Deadpan fucking.
Do I have a chance to do something?
Oh, Jesus. What the fuck, Brad?
And she's walking towards him, kind of booming voice, and getting ready to attack. And as she does, she's kind of screaming, I have always hated you. Oh God, everything you stood for, I despised. Reckless, stupid. Oh God. And they would have laid their lives down for you, all of them. She kind of points to the arena. You would have dropped to their knees and bowed down and laid their lives for you. God, so I had to get rid of you. Jim, I set those explosions. God, you're stupid enough to believe that Integral was responsible. God, she's just as stupid as you are. I think she was some great mastermind. No, it was me all along, and that's... She was always naive, and that's why she was so easy to kill. I'm gonna send you back to your dead girlfriend.
Yeah.
Goddamn.
I saw that clip.
God.
Brad asked, like,
God.
after the fact. Brad sent me that clip and was like, hey, this is a TikTok that I posted. What do you think about it? And I watched that and I was like, somebody needs to tell Hannah to calm the fuck down. Like,
I know.
Right?
Well,
chef's kiss.
it caught all
So
of us
good.
off guard, which makes our reaction so much more genuine.
Yeah.
So when the
No, that
whole
was
cast
so
was like,
good.
fucking God dang it.
It was amazing.
It was very good.
I think that
Joe just
I
sits
think
back in his
that
chair.
moment- I think that moment is a testament to the growth that Brad has had as a DM.
Yes.
At one point when I was watching Eldarian play, I didn't, no offense, Steve, but I didn't think Eldarian was going to pull through and kill anybody. So when we had the one shot with not DM Joester, sorry, Joester, with Ryan and with Hannah, I hit them both up. I was like, would you guys like to play in the campaign? They're about to go to the Great Empire, and it'd be fun to integrate some other players to help along the way. And both of them were 100% down. And I asked them both if they wanted to be an evil player. And Ryan instantly said no, he wants to play like a story-driven character. And Hannah was like, let's do it. And this session that Eldarian became a good guy and got rid of that portion of the curse, that's where Hannah came in. I love that part so goddamn much.
It was just...
It was great.
It also helped that
Flawless
Hannah killed
execution.
it. She
Oh,
killed
Hannah
it.
fucking...
I know.
Oh my God.
I was so enamored with the voice acting, I didn't know how to respond to the betrayal of my heart.
Those moments where you're like,
I see
you
we
become
them
the
before they
viewer.
come to evil.
Oh, crap,
Exactly.
I'm involved in
Add
this.
them to ours.
Oh, I'm there? Oh God,
my
wait.
God, yes.
Steve.
I think
We
the
broke a
part
few
that made
casual
that whole session even sadder for
Come
me
to
as a
evil and
player.
add to
Like,
one.
it really hurt because the night before that turn, Eldarian helped Raven write a love letter to her.
Yeah.
Oh,
And then Eldarian died, and the last thing he ever said to Raven was, "You're everybody's role model because you protect everyone."
Yep.
And it was just like this sequence of events that led to Eldarian's death, and Hannah's turn was so much more impactful to me because of all of that. It's like, God damn it, Hannah.
It was brutal. It was
So
brutal.
awesome.
Brad, just give me the thumbs up when you're ready to move to the next clip.
My dogs are going nuts.
Yeah, that's why I just said.
So
give me
instead of a
thumbs up.
fireworks, just one other. I wanted to add one other thing, but the dogs bark. Maybe completely forgot. So, oh right, when Hannah's so evil as a player as well. When you sent her that letter, and I think the moment that Austin, you sent her it over Discord, she texted me and she was like, "I just got a letter from Raven. I'm gonna use this to my advantage. He he." That is the definition of an evil player. It was so
That's how you
good.
play an evil character.
Yes.
It was diabolical.
It was rough.
But yeah, if we're all ready, let's move on to the next clip.
All right, Steve, this one's at your benefit.
Oh boy.
All right, everybody ready?
Locked and loaded.
Oh, is this what I think it is?
Let's go.
Can everybody see the screen?
No.
Change windows.
Negative Ghost Rider.
There we go. How about
There
now?
we go.
Okay.
We're all good.
All right, here we go.
To
Oh,
be
no.
evil or good, and if they want to be good, we can extract them to here, and if they want to be bad, we kill them.
I say we stop them before they can be evil and add to Saphira's numbers. Add them to ours.
We save them, Raven.
I got it.
Good idea, Raven.
Great idea.
Oh my god, Raven, that's amazing. Holy
We broke Steve. We broke him.
As you all are clapping with Raven, broken stuff.
Oh.
Let's hear your thoughts on that one.
I remember that.
First time the party broke you.
Well, I don't know. Man. I just know that, like,
Not
We
look
got him again.
I'm gonna change it into a book and just slam it on the table and say, "Answer her question."
That was fucking funny. We got time for what? You want to do one or two more, Brad?
Let's do two more. Let's
Okay.
do two more.
All right. Everybody ready?
Yeah. I'm gonna change it into a book and just slam it on the table and say, "Answer her question." I was the one that had to tactically figure out that problem. Save a city. First time for everything, and I won. I want to know why you made my life hell for a weekend.
It wasn't my place to save you. There has been not a single nation that has saved us. And at the time, it seemed like you had it handled. You had Merlin and this old organization called Merlin's Chosen to aid you. Why would you need us to travel through the Darklands to get here and sacrifice how many of my soldiers?
Hey, Rubio,
Yeah, but-
may I offer a translation? He's scared.
Have you ever heard of the term repaying a favor? If you want help in the future, but you need some, and everyone needs help eventually, there's always a better stick. Big fuck small. If you want to be left alone in the dire straits of your city and to see it decimated within a second, alone, keep up not supporting the rest of us, and you'll find out what true loneliness feels like.
But if he were to call you for aid and you don't go, how does that make you any better than him?
We have never been called.
I mean, in the future...
Raven nudges
Go ahead.
Kylo and goes, "This is getting good."
We would answer any aid call, as we've had many times. I am one of Murphy's Law, or Merlin's Chosen's new name. As the rest of them sitting at this table, we have gone to many cities and aided them in the past. I think we and my group, all of us, deserve to call you out. We've been saving this content left, right, and center. Where do you sit behind your walls, greedy, drinking and killing each other and quarreling over what race? Do you see snakes fighting because there's different colored snakes? No. You people try to make your excuses because nobody else has helped you. How about you help yourselves first?
I loved that dinner so
Yep,
much.
Yeah, I was gonna say that was one of the best ad-libbed angry speeches I think I've ever heard on a D&D game.
Full stop.
That was
If
so
I
sick.
had been the DM, after you had that speech, I would have given you a DM inspiration from that.
Yeah.
It was very well done.
I appreciate that. That was one of my favorite RP moments as like a ruler, because I built a pure charisma of my character, and I got to use it a couple big times. It was fun. It was very fun.
All right, we got one more clip, and it's where a bunch of the smart people gang up on the one dumb one.
Oh,
Dude,
this
nice.
one.
I failed every goddamn event in this stupid winter festival.
Oh, this festival
All
was
right, you ready?
Yeah,
Oh, no.
let's do it.
Everyone but Raven notices. You guys might try to change the conversation, but Raven doesn't notice.
I mean, I wouldn't.
I'm gonna look over to Raven and say, "Hey, Raven, cataclysmic, expansive, organization." I just keep spouting really big words at him.
I think
Big as I can go.
starts saying a word after him, just like, what are we doing? Flabbergasted.
Personification.
Throw in asphyxiation. Throw it in there.
Asphyxiation.
Vicious.
Raven passes out.
I love that moment.
Oh, my
That was
goodness.
You're like, my wife who's abusive is coming towards me and I need Raven to shut up. How do I do it?
You give him a brain aneurysm. That seems fair.
Because I was like, how have I been able to stop her from talking before? Big words!
Like, war,
Uh,
grief can't break Raven. But you throw out a onomatopoeia,
Personification.
a personification, that's the one. He's done.
A clip. So a clip that we didn't have, but that I want to bring up because it was probably my absolute favorite moment of the entire campaign. When Raven was bartering for that cart.
That was pretty
so
good.
funny. That was so funny.
Yeah.
Because at first he was doing so well, and then it just immediately went downhill.
Yeah, that
How
happens.
about I pay you? How about
Your
you pay
bartering
me
was
before
my
you go?
favorite.
It's good.
But you want that amount? How about I offer you more?
People always ask why we would let Raven speak. This is exactly why. Rubio had to get some entertainment out of this fucking 2-year journey. I love those moments.
But there are thousands and thousands.
Yeah,
of
there's so
moments.
many.
And all I could recommend to the viewers and to us is go back, watch this campaign. There are hundreds of moments in this campaign that are just hilarious. There are moments where two players couldn't hit each other for the fucking life in them and we had to go so late. There's a moment
That's
where
my
a
favorite
shiny
moment.
rock went super medieval and threw a chair up against the wall. There's moments for everything in this campaign, and it's glorious.
That was insane.
I changed
It
my answer
was.
from earlier. My favorite boss fight was fighting Murphy.
That was
Way
your favorite
harder.
boss fight? That's
Yeah.
funny.
Murphy.
With that being said, though, we're going to close the chapter on Battle of the Demigods. The party standing victorious, all of them going and living their lives. As the storybook closes, a new one opens. This time, I'm not your DM.
Before we get to that, everybody watch the screen because I have a special thing. Me and Brad have been working on a special thing for all the guests.
Oh, word.
Oh, okay.
So let me cue that up, and then we can do the cool flag.
Yes, for you, Juster. Run damage. Should have put that in parentheses.
Hey!
We had a lot of good guests.
We had a lot
Yeah,
of guest
we
stars in our one shots and
I
throughout
loved
the
all of
campaign.
our guest stars were fantastic. Every single one of them.
Oh yeah.
And
And as
As-
yes, sir, I had a blast playing with you guys as much as I could.
we had a blast having you.
Thanks for
You-
playing with us, man.
Oh yeah.
I wish I got to play with Steve a bit and some more with Rogan.
We're
Well,
starting another campaign.
Keep your
in a month.
fucking DMs open.
Your hands open. And with that being said,
You guys know how to reach me, obviously.
We do.
Hell yes.
I'll drive over.
We'll just drive there. That being said,
right. Say it again, real quick, Brad.
Yeah. With that being said,
did everybody watch Twitch?
What was said?
Everybody watched Twitch, and with that being said, everybody, I want to thank all my players for playing through my very first campaign. Joester, the guest stars, everyone for joining Beards and Barbarians, this community we built. And as we dive into C2, I'm no longer your DM.
Oh, shit!
Dun, dun, dun.
It's me! Everybody's got the little names on. This is the live screen for C2. I will be your DM. And we're doing a whole nother homebrewed world with no Pantheon. And I don't really want to give too much away, but I would like to go around... Sorry, Joester. I would like to go around to the players minus Alvis, which is Joe, to explain who their characters are real quick and what the biggest difference is. Brad, you just explained who your character is. So, Brad, you just go ahead and go first.
So yeah, I'm playing Thormore. He is a Goliath barbarian berserker, and he is a very, very happy-go-lucky person. He travels around with his familiar friends. He has a pet named Nodwick and a best friend named Esteron, and he does not go anywhere without them.
And if you look in the middle of the screen, we have awesome drawn characters of everybody.
There he is.
Yeah, character art.
There's Thormore right there.
I love
There
them.
you
I
go.
love them.
I've had that for my screen, like my screensaver on my phone since I got it.
And we will,
I
on our first
stare
episode,
at it
we will plug
sometimes.
her so much because we are so thankful that she did this.
Oh, absolutely.
You're so amazing.
It was great.
All right, well, since, he mentioned his pet, Nodwick, do you want to go ahead?
Oh, sure. Why not? Yeah, Nodwick is a turtle cleric who, for all intents and purposes, was kidnapped by Thormore. He washed up on the shore of a beach after a shipwreck, and this gigantic barbarian picked him up by the shell, took him to the bar with Esteron, and when he found out Nodwick could talk, thought he had the coolest pet in the world. And the reason Nodwick stays with him and doesn't correct him is because he feeds him.
All right, what's
You
the
have the coolest
biggest
pet in the world.
what's the biggest
economy.
difference between your latest character and Nodwick?
Oh, between Caspian and Nodwick, Caspian was this flamboyant, like very loving and caring and just like a friendly person. Nodwick is basically Eeyore from Winnie the Pooh. He's always depressed, talks real slow and real quiet, like real deep voice.
Eeyore's
Just
one of my
like
favorite
this.
anime characters, for sure.
Before,
Yeah.
was that it?
So yeah, that's about it. He's very just depressed.
So
Nice.
Before we move on to anybody else, I will say, since Joe is not here, he's playing Alvis Reeker. He is a dwarf, and the biggest difference is so obvious, and it's going to be so fun to watch. Joe is going from Cars, which is a level 4 charisma, to a 20 charisma character, so that should be
Insane.
very interesting to watch. Esteron Felivandor.
Great pronunciation. Yeah, I'm playing my new guy, no longer a caster.
There he
Kind
is.
of a rough life. He was a royal, and everything turned south. Lost everything, and just traveled bar to bar, fighting, drinking, and making money that way. Similar to kind of like Wolverine's vibe, if you know early X-Men. And he's different from Rubio in a sense that he doesn't have the same like wittiness and comical. Or what happened to him is kind of set him to very similar to actually what Cars is now, brooding, straight to the point. But for him, it just accepts any fight and drinks till he can't fight.
Esteron Falavandor is also a homebrewed subclass, so that should be fun to see play out.
What's the subclass called?
I haven't told anybody.
You'll figure it out when the campaign starts.
Figure it out.
Hey, don't spoil it.
Renessa?
Awesome.
Renazia.
Renazia?
Renazia. Yeah,
Hell yeah.
she's Tiefling Warlock. Very original idea. I know. She's, believe it or not, an orphan. No, her dad's still alive, but he doesn't like her. So
Jerk.
Orphan, not by
basically,
choice.
yeah, not by
Been there.
choice. But yeah, she's just a sneaky little warlock. She she grew up on the streets, you know, that tough life where she had to, you know, lie and steal. So we may I'm not gonna tell you how she got her pack magic. That's for the campaign.
Right.
Sorry guys.
What's the biggest difference between Onyx,
Biggest difference
besides her being a
is-
female?
Yeah, she's not rock. Can't wear the big armor. You know, I'm not gonna have 30 AC on a good day. No, she's very deceptive and.
I think I'm okay. We'll
kinda-
get around to that.
Yeah, well, she's very deceptive to acquire what she desires. She likes to play people.
Should be very fun.
Yeah.
Should be very fun. All right, Sidonius.
Sidonius. It's okay.
I'll get them
It's
eventually.
fine.
You got mine
I
perfect.
I've never played a character that somebody could pronounce her name without messing it up immediately, so it's fine. Yeah, Sidonius is very original, an adopted child. His last name is Dargru. It comes from a human tiefling household. Grew up very dedicated to his academics, and was a very staunch family man. Like, met his wife, and that was it. And that all got taken away from him in a very tragic event, and it changed the type of person he was. And now he is on the road to experiencing things and really living life and milking everything that he possibly can out of it. Every experience, every pleasure, all of it.
And biggest difference between Kailu.
Oh, Sidonius is selfish.
Oh,
Out the
okay.
gate. That is his biggest personality trait is, I'm the main character. If it's
Oh,
not
God.
benefiting me, why would I do it? And he only does things that feed his self-interest.
It's very
We're gonna
different from
fight for
Kailu.
sure.
He is personality-wise, he's totally different.
All right, Chad
But
is killing me.
Very fun.
All right, so with
can't wait to
that,
play him.
I'm okay, guys, chill out. I got it.
I say make him wait.
Steve, say something that Nodwick would say in Nodwick's voice.
Well, I guess we'll figure that out when we get to campaign 2.
Perfect.
It should be a lot of fun.
Perfect. Brad.
Well, I mean, I guess you'll have to wait and find out for campaign 2, which is more brain cells that I'm supposed to have, that Astron says, right?
Oh yeah, that's another difference. Brad is not playing a super dumb barbarian, so that should also be fun to watch.
Yeah.
Esteron.
The only drinking problem I have is an empty glass. It's my favorite line I have for him right now.
Okay. Either let's do Braden. If you're still polishing it, just give us a somewhat of a
Okay.
tidbit.
I get stage fright really bad. Well, I guess in campaign 2, we'll see what happens. We'll see if I get the voice perfect or if it's by the wayside.
Okay, that works. Logan.
I like it.
My cheeks are rosy.
It's because you're so cute.
Oh,
Kawaii
stop.
Well, I can't say I'm ecstatic to meet all of these new people, but I'm sure I can find a use for some of them.
So cool. So
Be sure to come back.
yes, Donis's voice is #condescending. Got it.
Yeah, he's a dickhead. I don't know what you guys are expecting, but prepare for an
excited.
asshole.
Elvis is
Thormore thinks everybody's nice. So
Elvis is he's doing a Scottish brogue accent. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it doesn't leave.
All right.
Yeah.
Before we end
I
tonight.
also want to throw out there, he's
Gonna
doing
judge
a
him.
Scottish voice, but he's doing the most high-pitched
yeah,
Scottish
it's so
You
good.
guys are... Chat, you're in for a treat. You're absolutely in for a treat.
And
So
I'll be
happy.
doing a bunch, I'm sure.
Oh yeah.
Before we leave you tonight, it's not going to be a full thing because it's just a wrap up. But before we leave you tonight, if everybody can watch your screens one more time and chat, you pay attention, I will give you the sneak peek to the intro to C2. So we're going to
Seems
go
so sick.
back to the wrap
It's a big
up.
deal.
Have you changed anything last time we've seen it?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, sweet.
Here it goes.
Oh, yeah.
C2 coming at you the
Oh my
first
God.
Friday
I'm
of
so
August.
excited.
Ooh,
I'm so
I'm
excited.
excited. It'll be so fun.
Oh, this is gonna be so much fun.
It's gonna
Yeah,
be
I'm so hyped.
nuts.
Especially like now that our group's been together for so long, like the chemistry, like knowing how people are and how we play.
No.
Like,
Yeah.
I think this is gonna
This
be
is going to be a lot of
so
fun.
sick.
I agree. I agree a
Especially with
lot.
DMs too.
And I guess it's my turn to say it this time. So remember always and never ever ever forget to embrace insanity. First week of August, C2 is live. See you guys.
all right.
Be
Bye,
there.
chat. We love you.